Hello and welcome to the Daily Exchange. My name is Harry Tucker. I'm filling in yet again today for our regular host, Fred Chibesta, who is in Singapore. So we're going to give you another quick update today on what's happening in cryptocurrency, taking a look at the markets and today's news. All of this is coming up right after this. Markets have broken downwards today. Only around 16 of the top 100 coins are in the green right now. Losses are mild though, capped at around 4 to 7%. However, some of the industry's biggest names are leading this downtrend. Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Stellar, and Litecoin all down around 3%. But let's start today looking at Bitcoin. Now, we mentioned a few weeks ago that Bitcoin had formed a very clear descending wedge pattern on the charts. Now that a bit of time has passed, it's time to revisit that and just see how it's playing out. Now, if we put this chart here, we can see that the range is going to be tightening a bit further, with Bitcoin refusing to break out in either direction yet. Now it's leading, sorry, there it is there. So you look at the wedge, Bitcoin's refusing to break out, and it's leading to anxiety among analysts, with Hacks Matt Sir writing that the wedge will likely break soon. But when it does, a break below $6,275 is considered to be the first signal that it will head downwards to test the bottom of the wedge at $5,800. However, if bulls can keep the gentle momentum they've been applying in previous weeks, a breakout above 6,750 could signal the long-awaited move past 7,000 and to the key resistance channel of around $7,200. Now, that gentle pressure from the bulls, however, may finally be running out. Amar Godball from CoinDesk suspects that the inability to break the 50-day exponential moving average signals that an immediate downwards trend may actually be on the cards. Now, next we'll have a look at Ethereum. Now, Ethereum's currently trading at around $225, down about 2.7% on the day. Now, price aside, Ethereum continues to be the most popular platform for gaming dapps. CryptoKitties has almost become a household name now if you have crypto in the household after having a breakout year since it launched in November last year. In that time, it's since received over $10 million in venture capital from Andreessen Horowitz, launched an exclusive Steph Curry, the NBA player, a collectible for him, and on a few occasions nearly crashed the entire Ethereum network. Well, now it appears that a new king of dapp gaming is in town. This one is called HyperDragons, which is a competitive strategy game built on Ethereum. And it sees players fight with digital dragons while amassing a vast trove of collectible items. Now, that last premise is pretty similar to CryptoKitties, which saw game items reach absolutely ridiculous valuations, like well over 100 grand, due to their verifiable rarity thanks to blockchain technology. Now, HyperDragons now boasts more active daily users than CryptoKitties. According to gaming and blockchain publication Sludge Feed, HyperDragons has also witnessed a 10x increase in daily users and a 15 times increase in spending in just the past week alone. Now, following integration of the Tenfold protocol. Now, the new protocol makes gameplay faster as well as cheaper or even free. If you're interested in blockchain gaming though, of course, make sure to check out our other show. It's called Games and Blockchains, or GXB, and it airs live on this channel at the end of each week. You can also see all the past episodes and things like that on our YouTube channel as well. Now, it explores the intersection of virtual currencies and virtual worlds and video games, and it's of course hosted by a big crypto fan and one of Australia's best games journo. His name is Chris Stead, who's actually the founding editor of the Australian editions of Game Informer and Gaming Pro. So he knows exactly what he's talking about. But here's a little clip I'm going to show you now, what sort of things you can see with him.
It's a top-down action game, but kind of a shoot 'em up really. but it also has this kind of RPG mechanic that's tied into the mechs themselves. So you'll level up your mechs. There's a whole secondary market involved, which is where obviously the blockchain technology comes in, where you can accessorize your mechs and level them up, make them more valuable, make them more rare, trade them with other people, sell them, make yourself a little profit, all that really cool stuff that we love. Now I've got a screenshot that I can show you of the game just to give you a taste of what it's like. It's actually 2 screenshots. I've used modern technology to combine them into 1 screenshot.
Now next up in trading trends, we have Sia Coin, which uses unused hard drive capacity to offer cloud storage services secured by a blockchain. Now it's on our radar today following the big decision to actually block ASIC miners. Now these are things produced by the likes of Bitmain, which is doing its IPO at the moment, which has got quite a lot of press and attention around it, and Innosilicon from securing the Sia blockchain. Now at first glance, this seems like an ideological move against the domination of ASIC mining that challenges a lot of cryptocurrencies. However, looking closer, it is a decision to specifically ban ASICs produced by those 2 companies mentioned above, Bitmain and Innosilicon. Now according to David Vorick, he's the CEO of Sia's parent company Nebulous, the decision was made due to concerns that the products of these 2 companies were getting a dangerously large amount of the hash rate, which could threaten the integrity of the entire network. Interestingly, Sia are in the process of creating their own ASIC miners though, and this has led to some in the community accusing them of centralization, to which the CEO had this to say. He said that we don't view blockchains as a democracy, we view them as a source of stability. We like decentralization because it prevents groups outside of our control from making decisions that we don't like. Now this seems to indicate that decentralization is more of a means to an end for Sia, where that end is actually total control. On one hand they are a private company, which makes that approach understandable, but on the other hand, their network is secured by the public, who may not actually like the idea of being rewarded in a cryptocurrency that is backed by a non-democratic organization. Nonetheless, it appears the market spoke, and Sia actually rose by around 5% following the announcement, despite the majority of the market being in the red. Now, we first introduced you to AltDex Exchange's 100 index a few weeks ago, which tracks the performance of over 200 cryptocurrency exchange coins like the Binance Coin, ZRX, and Houbi token. At the time, exchange coins were performing worse compared to the rest of the market, but we'll have a look at today and see if the trend has shifted. Now, if we compare the AltDex Exchange to the AltDex 100, which measures the performance of the top 100 coins, we can see some good news for fans of the exchange. Now, over September, the AltDex 100 fell by about 7% overall, while the AltDex Exchange only declined by 4.4% in that same period. So what may have driven this overall relative success? Now, over September, exchange coins such as Waves had positive price actions following the release of smart contracts on the platform. Houbi acquired an exchange in Japan, hinting at an expansion. And Bancor announced its expansion to the EOS platform, making way for EOS to ETH token swaps. In just over the last few days, Binance Coin has also now jumped over Ethereum Classic and NEO into the 14th spot in CoinMarketCap's ranking of all crypto coins by market cap. So we're seeing quite a lot happening in those exchange tokens. Now, another one to look at is Houbi, who has launched his very own social media and chat platform named Houbi Chat. It's an encrypted and decentralized instant messaging platform that's looking to rival Telegram, which currently held a record-breaking ICO earlier in the year. Now, Houbi Chat is currently in a closed beta, but curious minds can actually have a look at their website. Now, that's houbi.im, and it gives details about some of the more intriguing features. Now, I'm going to bring this up on the screen here and have a look at and compare them to Telegram and things like WhatsApp, Messenger, and WeChat. Now, some of the things you've got here as we go through, click through the product functions. So chain split groups, which can create unlimited number of subgroups and synchronize the information. So it kind of sounds a bit like Threads if you ever use Slack. And meanwhile, a variety of group messages, including entering password by password, token exchange, and holding the amount of the token. They've got a developer center for developers to be able to add things to the platform. Token Red Packet supports the establishment of digital asset circulation and distribution channels with red packets. and supports token. Red packet seems like a really vague thing to talk about. Group red packets. I'm sorry, I don't even know how to get into that one. It's a bit of after show research there. And of course, would a crypto project be a crypto project if it didn't have a chat token for whatever reason? Now, apparently, this chat token exists to promote the development of the Houbi Chat ecosystem and community, and it could be called the HCT, and it's put forward the idea of socializing is mining. With the greater, essentially, you earn more by contributing more across the network, and that's the idea of how they're going to use it then. Now, they'll receive the token for promoting the platform and completing tasks. And like I said, they're calling it the socializing is mining. And it believes that users will adopt the platform to the promise of financial gain. Now, it's certainly not a new idea, but it is the first time a crypto exchange has gone down this path and applied it to instant messaging. Now, given the breadth of already popular messaging apps like Telegram, WhatsApp, and WeChat, it'll be interesting to see if a cryptocurrency-backed version will be enough to sway loyal users. Now, onto a bit more news. Staying on the theme of exchanges, a new report has been released by ICOrating.com that surveys the security measures of 100 exchanges. Now, the report claims that according to the parameters it outlines, it only considers 46% of exchanges as safe, with Coinbase Pro taking the top spot as its safest exchange ahead of Kraken and BitMEX. Now, speaking of Coinbase, the hugely popular exchange has finally been given a valuation of $8 billion by a UK hedge fund, Tiger Global. Now, the fund is looking to purchase a $500 million stake in the company, which would bump the valuation up to that $8 billion price point. Now, last year, Coinbase was valued at around $1.5 billion, which means that if the purchase of the equity in the company would go ahead, Coinbase's value has more than quadrupled in that time, and it would make it one of the most valuable startups in the world, and one that is rumored to be heading towards an IPO. Not ICO, IPO. CEO Brian Armstrong says he started the company after reading Satoshi's white paper, quitting his role at Airbnb and going to Bitcoin meetups around San Francisco. Now, here is him talking to Emily Chang from Bloomberg about how it all got started.
In December of 2010, I happened to read the Bitcoin white paper, which was written by this mysterious person who nobody knows, Satoshi Nakamoto, and it immediately...
Is he a real person?
I have no idea who he, she, or they are, unfortunately, but it definitely captured my imagination when I read it because it talked about how the whole world could have this universal currency that ran on the internet, and I felt like it just kind of grabbed me, and I felt like this is the most important thing I've read in like 5 years.
If Brian Armstrong there, he talks about thinking he was too late to the party. It just goes to show that it's kind of never too late to get things started. But to finish up now, we'll go back and have a look at quick look at the prices on the market and see where we're at. We've got Bitcoin sitting at $6,595, ETH at $225, Ripple at 53 cents, Cardano is at 8 cents. EOS is back up a little bit. It's at 568. I think yesterday we were talking at about 558. Bitcoin Cash is down, but yeah, it's pretty stable across. Everything's kind of within that 3% up or down market. So bit of stable movement, a bit of flat trading across the market there. But that's it for today. Thanks again for joining in. We'll be back around again this time tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you then. Cheers.